No, yes, I am. Exactly, I've been questioning myself. No, yes. Oh, because more impressive. Yes.
Can I see your passport, sir?
Oh, I thought you meant like.
We wrote, they tasted great, we'll definitely order more.
Can you say that last one again, please?
They tasted great, we'll definitely order more.
Okay, thank you. All right.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Jia Zhao. You can call me Alex. I'm business intelligence major.
And I'm Megan Zabriskie. I'm business intelligence major as well.
Yeah, and today our project is test mining of Amazon 5 food reviews.
So we created a text mining model that was based off of Amazon Fine Food review data that we got off of Kaggle.com. And it gives their comments and then the related score in Amazon's star rating system. And so companies can utilize this information to better improve their rating scores and project a better image for future customers. So the data set, when we downloaded it, had 500,000 reviews in it. And then we utilized 35,000 of those because in Excel, it's too large of a file otherwise to run properly and to have it processed in a timely way. So we had to break it down and then create 5 different workbooks with it. And then this is an example of a tag cloud, also known as a word cloud. And so some of you may have seen this on social media sites such as Facebook. It just kind of shows which words are most commonly used and appear more often based off of size and font and color. So words such as like, good, and taste appear more in this data set.
So we predicting the score of Amazon Fine Food review will help Amazon and the suppliers to focus more on the negative reviews, such as the score is lower than 4. So based on that, the Amazon can contact with those suppliers if their food review score is lower than 4. Then because like most of the customers will pay more attention to the product or food is higher than 4 and 5. So those products which lower than 4, so the Amazon will contact to those suppliers, either improve the product quality or change to another food, another product. So those will help Amazon sell more product and increase sale and also increase profit. So this is the Amazon star rating system. 5 is excellent, 4 is good, 3 is fire, 2 is poor, 1 is awful. Just what I said before. Most of the customers probably pay more attention to the star is 5 and 4. So for the star is 3, 2, 1, people probably not pay more attention to them.
So the method we used is text mining, which is the process of deriving valuable information from text by determining patterns and trends of word usage through statistics and probabilities based on the likelihood of occurrence. And so to set up the model, you use training data, which is used to discover potentially predictive relationships, and then you use test data to test the model and develop the strength and utility of the relationship.
So during this process, the first step is we determine the training data and the test data. So the training data, we had 5,000 comments for each score, which means totally we have 25,000 for 5 stores. And the test data, we randomly selected 10,000 comments to be test data 1 and 2. We divided it by 2 to make sure our model test trends, make it more accurate. And the next step is clean the both training data and test data. So we remove all the punctuations and some word is less than 2 letters, because those punctuation and the word less than 2 letters is not really important. Those words appear all the probability or all the score. So in order to improve our model's accuracy, we choose to remove those words and punctuations. Then we choose keep maximum comments length to only 150 words, because some customers, they really love to write those comments. They can write like 2,000 or 3,000 words, but we choose like save our storage and make our model include more reviews, like around 150 words. Then we divided those words to single columns. When those space appear, so we will separate this sentence word by word through the Excel.
Okay, so once you've basically taken apart the sentences and just divided each individual word into a column, then you create a token catalog. And so each word represents a token for itself, so it's the input and creating probability. Essentially, you use that token of the single word to count how many times it occurs in reviews, and then that count helps predict the probability. And then you set up the model and calculate the summed probabilities for all test reviews, and based off of these, you're able to predict the score of a randomly selected example based off of the history and usage of those words. So then you're able to review your model for accuracy.
So the results, we compare the predicting score versus its actual score. For the test data 1, our prediction model accuracy is 76%. For test data 2, our prediction model accuracy is 67%. So basically, this model is not perfect. So the accuracy difference can be related to the length of comments, because every single word contributes some kind of relationship with this sentence. So if you most of the people that wrote longer for those comments, so if basically longer your comment is more accurate. So some certain words could influence the predicting rating. For example, in store 1 database, some word like hate. So this word will occur more in store 1 than other stores. So we will test this for a little bit.
Okay, so in D2 and D3, you'll see that I typed in the 2 examples you guys gave. And now Alex will break apart the sentences and basically have each individual word go into a separate column. And then in C, you can see that for both of the examples given, They were both predicted to be 5-star ratings, which is accurate because both of them are positive reviews. They talk about the great blend of flavors and that something tasted great. So this is accurate, whereas if we did one, so then doing a short one with only 3 words. So this will be reflected in what we talk about later, but basically being more specific, even in a shorter comment, can help. And so some of the insights we found were the use of nouns. So saying I like this product versus I like this pizza. Being more specific with pizza versus product just helped with accuracy as it's being more specific for what you're talking about. Using adverbs such as really before saying like or hate skewed the results because it focused more on what came before those words rather than on saying you liked something or hated something. So it emphasized and then skewed the probability and the result. And as Alex mentioned earlier, the longer the comment, the greater chance for accuracy, just because it gave more words to help see what you were trying to get across in your review. And then eliminate smaller words such as was, because normally any sentence you use those type of words in, it's not beneficial. It doesn't reflect anything relating to your opinion. And so ideally, we would recommend to require comments of at least 60 words just to help get the most accurate results for companies and to help depict the correct ratings on Amazon.
So, any questions? Okay.
Anybody want to try a negative?
Uh-huh.
Not to put you on the spot,
Yeah.
but a negative comment?
So anyone want to try some negative reviews to see what will happen?
This pizza tastes like garbage.
Well, so this one probably not that work because it's short and
And having a word like taste in there, once again, if it happens a lot,
Yeah.
if the probability is more for that word, it'll skew it
And then
then.
perhaps garbage hasn't been used anywhere else in the data set, so
Yep,
it
exactly.
doesn't associate that with negative, but taste is a good thing.
Yep.
Okay, so you
We
need
noticed
longer.
the same thing discussing smelly cheese with Check yesterday. If we say, I liked the cheese, I like smelly cheese, smelly obviously must not have appeared in a lot of reviews, so.
Yeah, the way that we describe text mining is, it's like a gladiator competition. 1 word enter, or 2 words enter, 1 word leaves. So based on the probability of that word coming up, only 1 word's gonna win.
Taste trumps garbage here.
What if you take out garbage and put terrible, or this pizza tastes terrible? Yeah, it's terrible.
There you go.
yeah, that's one word.
So the
Yeah.
word terrible is
Nice.
associated.
So it's all in the wording.
Yeah.
How did you make the formula that would predict it?
So the formula like.
I'll learn that next fall.
Yeah, because right now we have like different data set for different probability. So we compare, this is token 5 and token 4, we have token 3, 2, 1. So basically we compare the probability. Every word contributes the probability for that sentence. So sum of all the probability that compare the sum of probability have a higher numbers in which token it will show which score.
Sounds cool.
Okay.
How does it react to spelling errors?
Yeah, like there are so many words that spell wrong, but just like we collect all, no matter it's right or wrong words, is all in the data set. So it's already considered that situation. That is how powerful the data warehouse or this data set is. Yeah.
Because so taking out a Z in pizza, that word spelled that way may never have appeared in a comment before. So it will skew as well. And same with the spelling of terrible. Once again, it's just how often it's occurred before. So spelling does make a difference.
And you can modify your catalog to reflect spelling errors.
If you notice there's like a common spelling error of a word that everyone usually spells a different way, you can add that in.
Yeah.
Terrible with 1 R is the same as terrible with 2 R's.
How can this information be useful for a consumer of fine food or a small business owner that has a fine dining restaurant?
Basically, like this model help Amazon to like optimize their suppliers or their product. So the better the reviews, and the customer can have the better product.
I'd say probably can benefit the small business owner more on the business side than the consumer side, because they're able to use these to see kind of what's showing up more commonly in reviews. And as we mentioned, it can kind of help them be able to see ways they could improve their company, improve their business and image. For example, there was like a cookie company or something that a lot of people were saying the food was dry. And so if you see stuff like that popping up a lot, you can work to fix that for your consumers. Yeah?
Seems like you'd have to almost tie it to a particular product. Think of a restaurant where they say the food tasted awful. You had to know what food they ordered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it could be just general. Okay.
At least on Amazon, it is more product specific because you would have to be going in to buy a certain item. So I think in that way it could help maybe be geared more so towards specific items then. But yeah, for restaurants and stuff, it would be more complicated to know what specifically an issue was with someone if they just weren't happy. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, you, at the last slide, you mentioned longer comments were more accurate to predicting what they intended. I was wondering what you think the possible effects would be for customers leaving comments, if they need to leave longer comments.
Yeah, I think if there was a requirement, maybe it could cut back on the comments a little bit. I think if people are likely to rate something, they might just be doing it because it would take them 5 seconds to just like give it 5 stars and say it was good, versus being required to meet that length. It might affect the amount of comments you're getting. Anybody else? Thank you for coming. Here's your review.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your
Good job.
Thank you very much.
My little businessman.
Thank you very much.
I know.